What's up, everyone? It's Thursday! Thirsty Thursday, Throwback Thursday. Get your ass out of bed and do something with your day Thursday. Anything you want, you can create yourself any day, at any given time, in any capacity. So each day I'm trying to just really pop on to what feels aligned with me. And I was having a conversation with someone this morning who was just had a lot going on in their life, but just like feeling overwhelmed in general, impacted by so many people around them. And it just inspired me to come on and share about how we obviously have a choice, right? And I mean, we're constantly being affected by people around us, whether it be like a parent or a partner or someone at work or a job, someone in person, like at the bus stop or the store or whatever. As you can see, like consistently all day, every day, we're dealt with challenges and we're faced with energy from other people that might not exactly be aligning with us, and it's just constantly putting us in situations where we're having to where ourself and our energy is being compromised by other people. For people who just came on, I'm just sharing that how we can eliminate the stress within ourselves if we can really truly understand that just ourself creates that energy, so we don't have to be affected by, our parents saying this to us, or someone questioning why we're never calling them anymore, or someone in the grocery store line who chooses to be rude. Like, we really truly can create our self at any given moment, and we don't have to put up with this bullshit around us. And we're already dealing with so much in our life that to have to deal with other people's stuff or other people making us feel like we're not doing something right, or we're not doing enough of something, or we're maybe shouldn't even be doing this certain thing. It's just really how everything comes down to judgment, really. I mean, we're really just living our life trying to do the best we can, but people are judging others are judging others, everyone's judging this, and everyone seems to have an opinion about something that literally isn't right in front of them, stupid thing, and doesn't affect them. So when I was talking to my friend this morning and she was feeling quite overwhelmed, stupid reminders coming on to remind me to go live. I'm live. But what I really like, I'm in this leadership program right now, and what I'm really getting out of it is that obviously at every given moment we have a choice, and our choice creates our next move, and it creates what's happening for us in our life. So if you're getting in a situation with someone out in public, you have a choice to either be nice and be calm or react and create a situation. And either one of those are going to go completely different ways. Reacting is not going to get a point across, and being calm or whatever, the other person might not be able to understand where you're coming from, but at least you can control how you act in the situation and how you show up. And then when you walk away, you're left with feeling that in control, and not feeling not in control by reacting and not even getting a point across. So to also another huge thing that I'm getting from this course is to truly understand how different everyone is. So different. You could grow up in the same house with someone doing the same things, but everyone's so different because our brains are different. We receive things differently. We get talked to differently and everything like that. So when you want to say that someone did something wrong, or you want to say that just whenever you want to have an opinion about someone, understand that how can we really have an opinion when that person is just being the way they were raised to be and impacted their entire life to be? They don't know any different. So who are we to say an opinion about it? And that's why I just suggest everyone comes from a place of curiosity. Because if we can be curious when things are happening instead of judgmental, then we can actually have a conversation and not just get mad about something or upset about something or think that like our world is coming to an end because X, Y, and Z, it's like, no, this person, that's just their way of being. Just like this is my way of being, just like over here and over here and over here. I'm actively working on my way of being because I want to improve myself. And it's possible because you can change whatever you want. But the thing that I've been, like I said, working on so much lately is just being able to look at people as people. That's it. You're a person. You were born the way you were. You grew up the way you were. You experienced what you experienced. And now your way of being right now is because of all of these things that have led to this moment in your life. So we don't know what those moments were. We don't know what happened. We don't know how they grew up. We don't know anything about them. So who are we to say that what they're thinking is wrong, what they're thinking is stupid, what they're doing is this, they should do this, they should do this. Who the hell are we to say any of that? We're not. And so if we can start coming from that place of just accepting people for people and then saying, hey, would you mind if we had a conversation about this? Coming from a place of curiosity, being like, I'm actually just curious, why are you saying this, or why are you doing that, or why are you acting this way? Just so I can understand, because without questions, without being curious, you're never going to understand why anyone's doing anything. And you'll often hear people say that as like, oh, I don't understand. I just don't understand. But like, it's not up to you to understand. It really isn't, because you won't understand because you're not them and you don't experience that and you haven't experienced that. So this has been something that has freed me up really so much lately. You know, I've been taking it on for a couple of months, but each week and each day I take it a bit more serious, and because I don't want to get upset about something anymore, and I don't want to get upset that someone's doing something or they're not doing something. It's either you express how you feel to that person, and then that person knows how you feel, and they can either choose to change it, improve it, or whatever. And if they choose not to do anything about it, then like your relationship and your wants aren't valuable enough to that person. So it's nothing wrong with them being that way. It just isn't workable. And if you need more in your life from people or jobs or this and that, like, you can't get upset when you're not getting them if you're not communicating them. Communication is huge. So me, like, I walk around so freely lately because I just know that it's just people's way of being. Like, have you ever had a conversation with someone where they were acting a certain way or doing something and you just couldn't even get it through your mind how like they're not seeing your point or they're acting this way? You're like, how are you not seeing this? Like, but it's because that's who they wound up to be. That's just who they are. So they're only going to see your way of saying something is if they're open to seeing it from a different way. And people aren't going to be open to seeing it from a different way if you are approaching it in a like you what are you doing? But if you can be curious and be like, you know, Tom, like I'm actually just curious, man, because do you have a minute? Like, are you open to seeing where I'm coming from here? And they'll say yes or they'll say no. And if they say no, well then hey, they said no. But if they said yes, then it gives you the opportunity to kind of share what you're seeing. Because I know for me that a lot in my life, a lot in like a couple years ago, and even now, people take me differently than really what I'm trying to, people can only meet you as deep as they've met themselves. Yeah. And it's so true. It is so true. That's so true. People have to be willing, you know, as I said, to see it from a different way, and not everyone is. People are like, no, they'll take it defensively. I mean, this happened to me the other day when I was hanging out with this person, and they were very judgmental, and I ended up just kind of snapping because I just couldn't handle it anymore. And you know, that's not a relationship that I want at all. But it's interesting because now that person has like taken a step away from me, and it's like I'm actually coming from a place of love, and advice that I can offer would just benefit people in their life around no judgment and stuff like that. So yeah, really, like I said, what this video was inspired by today is just that we're dealing with enough in our life. We have to understand that other people aren't our business. Other people aren't our problem. And I hate saying problem because it's not a problem. Hey, Ashley. But like, is that we're really just dealing with our own stuff. And if we can't deal with our own stuff properly, then we can't show up for anyone else in any other capacity. And so when you're overwhelmed and you have stuff to do yourself, taking on other people's thoughts and feelings and emotions about it, their shoulda, woulda, coulda, their limiting beliefs of being like, you should do this, you're doing too much, you're doing this. So again, really all comes down to opinions, and how that like opinions don't serve you for having one, like they don't serve me for having one. We only like to have opinions because we like to be right and wrong, but there isn't even a right and wrong in life. There just is. It's just what happened, what didn't happen. Like a perception of someone's right and wrong is again in different people's perceptions of life. So to understand that we must be focusing on ourselves first, and if other people are acting a certain way to us, that's actually just not our problem. People act certain ways because of things they're dealing with internally, so it's never even really personal. Stupid things. It's never really personal. So, sorry, look at my muscles. It's ridiculous. Oh, half kidding. But, yeah. So take that on today, guys. When you're walking in public and you want to get mad at someone for doing something, it is ridiculous, yeah. When you want to get mad at someone today in public, can you please just take this on and think to yourself, that person doesn't know better. They don't. And we are just people who have learned different things. Because when you can start looking at people as people and they don't know better, because they really don't, because that's the way they wound up being, and like that's just who they are, then like we don't have to get upset about it anymore, which is pretty powerful to kind of regain that power back. So take that on today. When someone's bothering you, just think to yourself, that's just actually how they are. And to not, hey Jess, that's just how they are, and to not get upset about it. But if you have an opportunity, and it might be someone in your life, you could have an opportunity to, anytime, you could have an opportunity to just connect with them and have a conversation. And then so much connection comes out of authenticity, because what we usually find out is we think something happened and it didn't even happen, but we're creating a story around what happened, and then we're fixating it. I used to be really bad at this, and I sometimes still am. I'm openly admitting that I get in my head. But I can remind myself, because I'm working on the tools to get myself out of the head. But we usually want to create someone when something like that didn't even happen. We're just like, oh, screw them. They're acting this way, they're doing this, they didn't respond, or they don't seem interested, or we're creating them already. So it's like unfair, because we're not even giving them the opportunity to share maybe about what happened or anything like that. And now I know like it gets kind of confusing, because there's some people where their behavior and stuff like that, it's just like, that's not what you want, and like that's cool, then you can take a step away from those people. But some people who really haven't given you a reason to think a certain way, kind of like block your subconscious mind out, because it's almost unfortunate, because we could potentially lose out on something amazing, or a connection, or a new friend, or something like that, all because we think we know what's going on. So that's also another thing I'd like for you guys to take on today, is that in your life, look at things as what happened. Not the story about what happened, not, oh, they said this or they said that. It's what happened, okay? And then go from there. Because will say that, oh, things were going really well, and we were talking, and everyone's doing a backstory, a story. But what we only 100% know is what happened. That's it. I sent a message, they didn't reply. That's what happened. I said excuse me in public and the person didn't move. That's what happened. Be more specific on what happened and forget the story around it. And that's amazing. So a small recap of what this episode was about is that we have a lot going on in our lives, and it's not our responsibility to have to deal with other people's shit or the way they view us or how they want us to live our life or how we come across to people. It really isn't. It's not our responsibility. I know we want to take that on, but it just adds more stress. Another thing is being able to take a look at people in your everyday life and truly understanding they don't know better, and it's not personal. They're just acting the way they've acted their entire life, and we often think it's personal or screw them or they should be this way. No, that's your opinion. Just be grateful that you were raised the way you were raised and you have the morals and respect and whatever that you have. Don't get mad at other people for not having them. Just be curious on maybe why they don't. Don't get upset about it. And then the third one is when you're talking to someone or something happened or you're telling a story, because it is a story. To anyone who wasn't there physically experiencing it, it was a story, which means it could be made up, which means how do I even know you're telling the truth? And there's three sides to every story. It's yours, theirs, and the actual third person truth of what the hell happened. And usually it's just a mix up of people getting confused and blah blah blah, and it goes to shit. So take those three things on today. Focus on just what happened. Recognize people for just being people, and stop taking on other people's stuff. Those three things are gold, honestly. If you can take on those three things today, and I'm not asking you to be perfect, I'm not asking for you to do it every time, it's a learning curve, but if you can be aware of those three things and start to kind of catch yourself when you want to judge or be mad or this, they'll honestly change your life. So thanks for tuning in, guys. I look forward to tomorrow being back at 12. I'm really loving this, really loving the shares. Most importantly, loving this move because I get to spin. But I love you all. Thanks for your support. Have a great day.